Hello everybody, my name is Petr Koutny. Let's watch the game of Chess Legends. Norway Chess 2023 first round. Fabio Caruana with white pieces and with black pieces playing one of the best chess player ever, Magnus Carlsen, who is now playing French defense, and that's a first surprise because French defense it's not a really top option for top players in top tournaments, and Magnus Carlsen decided to play French defense, and exactly with variation knight f6, Fabio Caruana playing e5 and gaining a space advantage since beginning, and you will see that this space advantage will be one of the most important factor of this position because black will be solid but a little bit passive, and mainly because of this move e5. Of course, we are going to follow main moves in French defense where both players are going to place their pieces to game, and it's important to follow square d4. d4 is the most important square for white and maybe for black, and you know, everything what's going on is about the square d4. Bishop e3 and a6, knight e2. That's a maybe not common move, but the idea behind this move is to play c3 and make sure that pawn on d4 is in safe hands. And Magnus Carlsen played queen b6, and of course, if anybody is playing French defense, this is a typical French move, attacking d4 and at the same time b2 pawn. Of course, white played queen c1 and nothing happened because of course both players has to go for short castle, and c3 g3. That's a good move because this bishop it's not happy bishop and should go to g2 or h3, and of course white is searching for better job for this bishop than has now on f1. So everything makes sense, and now Magnus is going to destroy white's center, and of course he is fighting against space disadvantage, and pawn on e5 is the main reason why black is not happy and still is suffering a little bit from the opening. So f6, bishop g2, and after this exchange it's good to watch this position because now Magnus is playing really beautiful moves. If you are going to watch black's army, you could watch mainly these four black species, and all of them are doing bad job and all of them are standing on the bad squares. And of course it's not easy to understand that this queen is going to block this knight who is lovely jump to b6, and this knight is blocking bishop on c8 who like to go to d7, and of course this rook love to go to open file but can't go there because there is a bishop. So maybe all four pieces are going to block each other, and that's something what Magnus Carlsen hates. He hates to have bad pieces, and step by step, move by move, now follow how Magnus Carlsen is going to improve his position because he is going to improve his pieces, and he played queen a5. The idea behind this move is to go knight b6, then bishop d7, and of course rook c8, and only one single move with a queen is improving a lot his position. Okay, check, and knight c3, why not? Knight b6, we understand. Now Fabiano took on f6 and played b3. b3 is a good move because it's going to stop this knight on b6 and is not going to allow to jump to c4. Okay, Magnus doesn't mind because he played bishop d7 and rook c8. Lovely position when Magnus Carlsen improved his bad placed pieces, and that's something what we could remember and of course what we could learn from him. Okay, I'm going to show this position for one more time because it's nice how Magnus Carlsen found his problem, and he was sure that his main problem is is hidden behind his inactive pieces, and he found it a good way to improve his position by to replace queen, then jump knight to b6, bishop d7 and rook c8. Such easy chess are sometimes the best chess. I believe that simple chess are the best, and now we are going a little bit more faster, because after b3 white stopped knight jump to c4, doesn't mind, rook c8 and queen d2, bishop e7 and knight e2. And this is important time of this game, because White believed that this endgame favored him. And maybe he's right, or maybe Black is not right if he's going to exchange queens, but I understand why Magnus is going for this exchange. He believed that he can play nearly every endgame for a win, and maybe he's sure that he is not going to lose this position, and he exchanged queens. Maybe interesting variation it was bishop a3, and maybe to keep on board queen for a little bit more moves. Okay, so what's happened? Black took on d2, and now Black played rook c7. I think that's a not bad move at all, because there is open c file, and what could be wrong on to have two rooks on open file? Nothing, but White played rook c1 and now f5, and that's a beautiful move. You know, before I was speaking about bad black pieces, and now I love to speak about bad white pieces, and mainly about this bishop, this both knights, and this bishop. And the biggest problem is a square on f4, and Fabio Caruana decided to play f5, and that's a beautiful move, because this move may be offering pawn, but at the other side is giving life to his minor pieces, and that's exactly how is the best way how to play chess, because you know, chess is game of our pieces, and if we have feeling that our pieces are not doing a good job, we have to work with them. And good players as Fabiano and Magnus of course are, every times are working with their pieces, and they are doing their best to find the better squares and the better job for them. So that's something what we could remember from these top players of the world. And let's enjoy move f5, because now all white pieces are giving new energy. And after a5, bishop a3 of course doesn't mind, rook e1 and bishop b4, another exchange. Okay, and now white took on e6, and now knight f4, and even Black is enjoying open c file. He is not happy, because white's activity at the opposite side of the board is increasing, and Black has to be careful. And after bishop f5, knight e5, it was another reason to believe that White is doing a good job, and he is improving his pieces. And let's watch this knight. This is a brilliant knight sitting on great square on e5, and it's hard to challenge this knight. This knight is doing a good job, and maybe because of this knight, and say because another knight doing another good job there, we could believe that White is doing a good job, and Black is still suffering. And you know, looks like Magnus Carlsen since opening till now has no more chances than to hope for draw. And he is going to lose this position, but you know, this is a lovely position, and White maybe a little bit outplayed Magnus Carlsen, and that's the bigger surprise coming from the first round of great tournament Norway Chess 2023. Okay, g6 and g4, good. And now the last exchange. And what is important here is to see this d4 passed pawn. This is another reason why to believe that Black has big problems. Of course, Black is not lost right now, but there is no room for bad moves. There is no room for blunder, and there is no room for mistake at all. Black has to be careful. And you know, everybody knows that hard position, bad positions, difficult positions are really tough to play, and it's not hard to play a blunder. It's at the other side very easy. So a3, knight d5, and here rook c3, and this sounds like first mistake, and as I told you, there is no room for a mistake. So knight d7, and again let's watch this knight doing beautiful job on d7. And another knight is doing great job here. Yes, of course, there is a question. Why is not working this move at all? Because even black is winning a knight on d7, he is losing a knight on d5, and if I'm going to play this variation, again, this knight is going to dominate a position, and you know, the plan is to go rook e7, rook f7, and then is follow checkmate. So here at our variation, three white's pieces are double twice stronger than black's pieces, and black is losing even this position. You know, maybe it's not losing if we are playing each other, but because of Fabio Caruana against Magnus Carlsen, this position is absolutely lost for black. And I'm coming back because after knight d7, black took on b3, and that's a losing mistake. And now it's good to remember the final shots of these positions, because exchange on d5, knight is under attack on d5, knight c3, and knight f6, and black resign it. And now is the question, why black resign it? Of course, I'm going to show this variation. So say after this check, black should go to f8, g7 or h8. If it's going to h8, there is nearly checkmate, or I think that is a checkmate on h7, and this is a simple first reason why black resign it. The second reason should be to go to g7, and I think d5, d6 and d7. It's another big reason why black is lost. For example, knight b5, check. Pawn is going down, and knight h7. So black's king is in a huge danger, and I think that black position is going down really fast. So that was the second reason why black resign it. And if he's going, okay, say to g7 or to f8, that is d5, check, d7, and of course this position is absolutely lost for black. So we saw a good game. We saw a good game how Magnus Carlsen suffering since opening till end, and say let's well done to Fabio Caruana, because he outplayed Magnus Carlsen and he was stronger player than Magnus Carlsen, and that's the first important message coming to us from Norway Chess 2023, because that was the game of the day number one. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and this game. If yes, feel free and press like, and hopefully press follow and be our new followers. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'm going to see you here tomorrow or next day, and I wish you a good day. Thank you, bye bye, take care.